Welcome to Deep Dive. I'm Nina Park.
And I'm Evelyn Hartwell. Today is February 19th, a date that forces us to look at the intersection of executive power and human rights.
Right. We have a heavy slate of history today, Evelyn, specifically regarding the choices leaders make during times of crisis. But we'll balance that with some incredible cultural milestones, too.
That balance is necessary because our first topic is one of the most significant civil rights violations in American history.
In 1942, on this day, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066. This wasn't just a military memo. It authorized the forced relocation and internment of approximately 120,000 Japanese Americans during World War II.
The scale of it is staggering when you consider that these were citizens detained solely based on their ancestry. There were no individual trials or proof of wrongdoing. Families were uprooted, forced to sell their homes and businesses on short notice, and moved to remote camps across the interior.
Exactly. It remains a stark reminder of how fragile civil liberties can be when national security is used as a justification for mass discrimination. The impact on those families lasted generations.
It truly did. It is a story of resilience, but also a permanent scar on the history of American democracy. It reminds us that policy has real, often devastating, human consequences.
While we reflect on those lessons, we also want to look at the lives of people who used their experiences to build something beautiful. We have 3 very notable birthdays to celebrate today.
Let's start with a voice that helped define the American sound. Smokey Robinson was born on this day in 1940.
The king of Motown. He wasn't just a singer. He was a prolific songwriter and producer. He wrote My Girl, For the Temptations, and The Tears of a Clown. His work essentially built the foundation of the Motown era.
Yep. And speaking of building foundations, we also celebrate Amy Tan, born in 1952. Her novel, The Joy Luck Club, became a massive bestseller and is a staple in American literature.
Evelyn, her work is so vital because it explores the complex layers of Chinese-American identity and those deeply intricate mother-daughter relationships. She brought a specific cultural perspective into the mainstream in a way that resonated with almost everyone.
Absolutely. Then we have Benicio Del Toro, born in 1967. He is an Academy Award-winning actor known for bringing such a grounded, intense energy to his roles.
You can see that intensity in films like Traffic, where he won his Oscar, and of course his memorable roles in Sicario and The Usual Suspects. He has this ability to command the screen with very few words.
It is quite a diverse group of creators. From Motown to literature to cinema, they have all shaped how we see the world.
While we are on the topic of people who made an impact, though perhaps in a much stranger way, we have our fact of the day. It brings us back to political maneuvers, but on a much shorter timeline.
This is one of those facts that sounds like fiction. On February 19th, 1913, Pedro Lascuráin became the president of Mexico for just 45 minutes.
45 minutes! It is the shortest presidential term in world history. But it wasn't an accident. It was a cold, calculated move.
Can you explain how that even happens? It seems like a logistical impossibility.
It was about legalizing a coup. General Victoriano Huerta had orchestrated a coup against President Madero. To make the transition look legal under the Mexican Constitution at the time, Lascuráin, who was next in line, was sworn in. His only job was to appoint Huerta as Minister of the Interior.
Because the Minister of the Interior would then be next in line for the presidency if the current one resigned?
Precisely. Once Huerta was appointed, Lascuráin resigned immediately, and Huerta became the president. The whole charade was over in less than an hour.
That's remarkable. It is a chilling example of how legal frameworks can be manipulated to subvert democracy.
It echoes what we discussed earlier with Executive Order 9066, how the law can be used to bypass the spirit of justice. It certainly does. Whether it's a 45-minute presidency or an order that changes the lives of 120,000 people, February 19th shows us how much can happen when a leader picks up a pen. It's a lot to process, but these stories are why we look back. To explore more of these historical deep dives, visit deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Thank you for joining us today. I am Nina Park.
And I am Evelyn Hartwell. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.